All right. Make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, you guys cannot hear bonk though. All right, maybe you can hear that now. All right. Can you guys see me okay? I got a lot to do. I don't have much time because the wife's going to be home in a little bit, and then we got to get ready for our trip, so pack up and stuff. But what I wanted to do was get these last labs done for the guys to kick them out, and then probably play some bonk as well. If you guys haven't ever seen this game, Mega Bonk, it's kind of fun. I've been playing it a little bit, and might play it a little bit tonight, depending on what our time looks like. But we will do technology stuff around that. Make sure we got these all looking good. Yeah. So if you guys have questions about the course, questions about what we do around here, let me know. And I think all that stuff's good there. That should be on rotate. No. Go rotate should be started. All right. Good. Well, so I'm here. I'm hanging out. I just worked all day, taught a college class, and now I'm trying to maybe play a little bit of a game and hang out. Let's play on this, and we'll play desert to try to beat tier 2, and we'll run around a little bit, and then I'll get into labs. I'm way behind on labs, so I might as well just stay a little bit behind, I guess. See what we get to today. If you guys have questions about systems engineering in general, let me know, because that's what I do, and that's what we normally do around here, but there's a little bit of room for messing around if we want to. A little bit of room for it. I swear that thing doesn't rotate unless it has the focus. Let's see. I want to see if this rotates with the focus. That'll be, yeah. So now if the focus is there, it's going to rotate. But if I take the focus off, apparently it's not going to rotate. But that's not what Go Rotate's supposed to do. Let's go look at the options here. Intervals in every 30 seconds. Let's say 15. And then let's make sure that's turned on. Stop, start. Settings. There. Okay. Now, if that's not the focus, I want to make sure that it still rotates. Like if that's not what we're focused on. Oh, we don't want to fight the bandit. Not right now. I'm not ready to fight him right now. Maybe a little later. Alright. I watched somebody get 1.1 million kills on this earlier today. It was kind of funny. It's a lot of kills. Oh, it is rotating over there. Okay. Good. So that'll answer some questions about what we do around here. We want quantity, so we fire more weapons. Crit chance. Works for me. I think I was just being impatient earlier because I think it was 30 seconds. We'll take Frostwalkers. Now we got fire and Frostwalking. More damage. Take it. Thanks for the follow. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Normally I'm doing something a little more technical, but I am messing around right now because I just got done teaching and I am kind of relaxing for a minute. So, kill. More quantity. Sure, we'll take the burgers. We always need more hit points, right? So. These guys are super annoying because they kind of fire this thing down from the They kind of got this bit of artillery that comes down. It's not super annoying as long as you stay on the move. I don't care about luck right now. I do care about luck, but not in this run right now. We will take mirror to reflect damage back on the bad guys. Every now and then, though. Not very often. Alright. Let's collect up all our stuff. Quantity. More arrows. When I first started playing this, I thought I was terrible at it. Turns out you really, I mean, I can be somewhat terrible at it, but also you're really playing against, you got to get the meta progression going. Otherwise, you're not gonna do anything on this. So meta progression is just the in-between levels. You buy more stuff, you get more items, you make your character kind of incrementally better. And by doing that, you will do much better at the overall game. Yeah, see, we just burn those guys to death. There we go. Take some tactical glasses. Kind of like my glasses, tactical. Get more ghosts for whatever reason. I don't even know what the ghosts do. I think they do damage of some type. Alright, standing still will heal me. It's good. Not if I'm getting hit, though. We want more silver, so we'll take silver up. Alright. This game comes with a weird effect that if you're damaged and about to die, it lowers the volume and stuff. I can't stop moving just yet because I do still have those artillery guys around me. Once I take care of them, I can stand around and heal. But oh, golden chests you don't have to pay for. More damage to bosses. We'll take it. Alright. Take a damage tome for more damage. Let these guys follow around behind me and just burn. More quantity of arrows. Burn these guys some more. Not terrible. Take more quantity. Alright. More Frostwalker. Now we can collect all that loot up. Get our levels up. Quantity. So we're just looting like crazy out here. That's all we're doing. And I'm gonna get back into the book right in here in a second, the lab book. Gotta relax for a minute first though. Always gotta do that after teaching a college class. It was data privacy tonight, so data privacy protections around the laws that exist. Increase damage when I open chests, that's always good. Evasion, sure. I think the goal is to not get hit if you can avoid it, but we take what we can get around here. More gold. Need more gold to buy stuff. Take more difficulty. All right, these scorpions are kind of notoriously annoying. It looks like we took them out pretty easy. Those weren't the boss ones. If those were the boss ones, we'd have a little more problems with them, I think. All right. Take more. Well, that's a boss one. Okay. Take more crit. That's definitely not what I wanted. Another swarm incoming. We have still not found the final boss, so that's definitely not good. We need to find the boss for the level. We basically froze everybody for a little bit. That's not bad. Take more luck, I guess. Take full health. Jeez. We might be losing here. Nope, got away. Goal is just to stay alive. Whatever we need to do to stay alive. Even if it means eating burgers. Alright. Take it. Alright. Oh, now we got boss scorpions, so this is not going to be good. Oh. I think that hit us a little. I couldn't jump high enough. Sometimes you need to be able to jump higher for that to work. I love this. Maybe him skill issue. I love it. They just talk so much trash in between each round. Alright. We'll get Bonk out of the way for a little bit. I'm putting together the labs for you guys and the lab book, which is here. Lab book is part of a course that we have that is free on our Discord called the Automation Engineering course, and we're in lab 2. So some of the things that I've started to set up was I have some scripts here, and the scripts are these basic scripts that are going to be interacting with the operating system, right? So the first part of it will be let's actually make a new file in here, and then this one will be U2 script 2.sh, right? And this one's going to be a different one to interact with the OS in some way, right? So Bash natively, and this is going to be explained in the class too, or during the course, Bash natively works with Linux, right? It's built in. It's part of the way that we deal in command line interface, right? So it's the way that we communicate with the system. So we might do just random things with Bash. So maybe generate a log with today's date on it, right? And this thing will give me, actually it's funny that this thing wants to like pair program or what do they call that, vibe code for me. So we can just use that. Actually, that's pretty good right there, right? Like, so I can actually hit tab and that'll complete. And then I can come down here and we might say, yeah, we might say display that log file, right? And there you go, boom. And that could be all we needed. So now, this is interesting. This didn't do what I wanted. So some of you guys are probably familiar with Bash enough to know that this thing that put today's date in the file, right? It didn't put today's date on the file. So if I wanted to put the today's date on the file, we would put something like this. Right? And that would do it there. And then that would also say where it was. And then displaying the log file would also be adding that value in. Oh, did it not tab complete that? Oh, that's funny. I don't use this function at all, so I'm kind of playing with it to get my lab work done a little better. Robodom, how's it going? Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We are, guys, if you don't know, Robodom's one of my kind of long time, and he's my mod. So that should, yeah. Right? And then that right there, for me, is enough today's date in it. Today's date tagged on it. Right? No, I don't want whatever that is. So, all right, I'm just gonna hit Control S right here and save it as it is, and that's good. And then we'll save that, right? So then the next things to do. Oh, this is the wrong one. That's the other lab. I need the other book. Where's the book at? Nope, that's my research. Here's a lab book. All right, lab book. So lab 2 is required materials. Same basic function as lab 1. There we go. PuTTY or other connection labs are root or sudo command access. Lab will have an engineer verify and execute their automation tools to interact with the OS in a controlled fashion. Bash execution. Then we have no bold. Right? And then, whoops. Then we have, over here, we have not what we wanted. This will be Python. And then down here will be Ansible. So we're doing three different types of things, basically, right? Like 3 different types of execution. Brian, you said how am I? I'm good. I'm tired. I worked all day and I just taught a college class, but now I'm just kind of like chilling. That music in the background is actually from a video game, Mega Bonk. So I just have that here. We'll play another round here in a little bit. But I was writing some stuff out, and then so the first lab, I'm gonna change these names. I don't. I guess the names will be indicative of what they are, so that'll be fine. Let's do the same thing now with our other lab. So make a new file, and whoops, no. We need to make this in assets. Oh no, cancel. All right. Hopefully whatever just happened is not still there. Hold on. Yeah. New file down here, and this will be u2 script 1.py, right? So this will be a Python script, and we're going to do user bin bash, because typically that'll work across let's see, try to think, Python 3. User bin Python 3, yeah. What did I type? Oh god. User bin Python. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me. Python 3, right? And then down here, I would say, yeah, so this would be, So now over here, it'll generate our Python for us. So with open etc pass wdr, and then it'll read those lines and then it'll print them out. And this is not maybe the Dr. Dreadclick. Yeah, that's rough, man. Moving over to I moved to Windows 11 on this box, but I was not super happy with it. And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up too much, but if I can find a Linux distro that I think is stable enough on the desktop, I might use one. But typically, you guys know that I just use whatever to get into my productivity. I can even use a Mac. It doesn't matter. As long as I can get into my Linux boxes, I can do whatever I need, right? Typically, I even use just PuTTY for that. All right, let's just say that, and then this script displays the last 10 lines of that CPassWD file, right? Boom. All right. So it'll read, yeah, lines less than 10, and this will do lines up to 10. Okay. So this is, that does the first and last. Yeah, that's fine. Displays just the last 10. Oh, sorry guys, I've been yawning a lot. The goal of the course is to get you guys interacting with these tools, not to make people experts. There's Python course out there, there's all kinds of stuff like that out there. I just want this to kind of look like what we're working on as we talk through this. So we had this meeting on Saturday where we talked through these things, right? We talked about how the automation works and how we do these things and how we touch a bunch of servers out in the environment. And then we're touching for each of the weeks the different stuff that we're building. So if anybody's not been here, that's what the course looks like. Right now, I'm just trying to get the labs up to speed. So, I'm trying to catch up because I'm way behind on lab stuff. So, let me do this. Oh, yeah. Dr. Deadclick, he said, yeah, just main PC, then need compound. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm one of these guys, like, I mean, I jump into so many different environments throughout the day. I have my primary customer, you know, with my company Redline, and then I jump into so many other different projects that they've got me working on. So it's like, I don't even know. I tell you guys all the time, I don't even know necessarily where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing on certain days, depending on what comes up. So because of that, that's not why I'm behind. I'm behind because I've been wasting all my time. And now I'm like up against it. And really, I should have this stuff done Saturday. I just haven't done it yet. So, anyways, we're adding these pieces, and this gets pushed up for you guys that aren't super familiar with the stream. There's always some that haven't seen it. These get pushed up into the Killer Coda course, right? So we've got this cool site out there called Killer Coda that lets us do really whatever we want in there. Here's our, Tanis over here. And this is my stuff, and now we're on the automation labs, and only automation lab 1 has been pushed up so far, which is right here, unit 1, which is tools. And now we're doing unit 2, and we're interacting with the OS. So we're doing some basic little things to touch the operating system in different ways, right? Let's do another script here. So we'll go to assets, new file, u2 script 2.py, right? I also need to rename this one to a lower name. There, whoops, that was not what I wanted. Get out of here. Boom. u2 script .py. All right, that's what it's going to. Whoops. User bin Python 3, right? Because we are using Python 3 as our tool. Say this script reads through etc pass wd and displays the name if bin no login is the shell. Right? And here we go. It'll print it, and it'll print out, let's see, if lines, it'll read. If it finds bin no login, then it'll print that line. Right? Displays the, let me say username. All right. So, and we're going to test these in a minute, see how well these pumped out. They look pretty good to me with my general knowledge of Python. I think those will work just fine. So then what we need to do is we need to do the Ansible ones, right? So Ansible doesn't really interact with an operating system in this way so much. So maybe we will leave. Well, we can still do stuff with Ansible that's kind of useful on this one. So let me think about that as we go. But let's come down here and say this is true. The course is designed as part of a larger set of instruction that is free from the Professional Linux Users Group, Prolog. This lab book for the course can be found here. That links to this one right here. That's the free, that's what our 16-week course looks like right now. We're in week 2 right now. I know that the writers don't have all the material yet, so they're a little behind, but they're behind because I'm behind. So, and then this week we're not meeting, so Unit 3 is not happening this week. Just gives me a little time as we kind of set this stuff up initially. So, run, we're going to say run the scripts that allow bash to find yourself in a bash shell. Bash natively interacts with the Linux OS via built-in tools and added, let's say built-in and I guess we can say built-in tools and just what we call native tools, right? There's probably a better term for that. Interact with the OS using bash and scripts provided in /root, right? So that's going to be the task. And then maybe this one is check all the running processes, right? And this might be something like ps ef, just check all the running processes. ps ef word count, right? Maybe count all the running processes. That's fair. Yeah, Robodom, Windows 11 just, it seems super clunky, man, and I am not happy with, sometimes I just come in and my box here is crashed, and I'm like, why are you crashed, like, hard down, like everything just black, all my screen's black, and I'm like, oh. And it's funny because I walk in from my bedroom, I come over to my office, and I can see. So typically, like, this will be a little lit up, even with the light off. Like, I'll see the monitors, and I'll start to walk in here, and I'll just see I see the back of my monitors. I walk into my room, and they'll be dark, and I'm like, oh, something fucking Windows, man. I'm not super happy with it. But we were also talking down in the Discord today about how many Linux distros on the desktop are not. I mean, like, we think of like open source as like. Open source is the closest concession to like free software as most people are going to get. Some of our guys in our server are like hardcore free software foundation types, and that's, guys, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I mean, to say like everything should be free and open in the OS, I'm actually okay with that. No tracking and stuff like that. But a lot of this is straying even off of like what most of us consider like fair game for calling something open source, because open source does have set principles, but like, if you download an Ubuntu desktop now and it's got telemetry turned on, so it's sending all of your logs and everything you do up to the, whatever their thing is, and they're like, whoa, but we're just using it for whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't even ask us to turn it on in most cases, or you asked us so far down that nobody was reading that shit, right? Like, it's some of us think that's kind of a violation. It's like, I always show you guys, like, I love Grafana, but when you go to put some of its tooling into a system, the default in the shell The default in the config is to send telemetry. Most of us, that's a contractual requirement that we don't do that. Like my government stuff, it'll catch that. We can't send that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can opt out of it, Chingo. Yeah, they actually were talking about. I could pull it up where they were messaging about it, but where's that at? It's in the Discord. It's under. I think it was under security topics. They might have been mentioning that. Where was that at? Security. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know where it is, but you could probably find it if you wanted to. Oh, that's super funny that my in Discord my stream thing for today says building out Unit 2 labs and playing bonk, and then it actually shows me playing this bonk game. That's my actual thing that got set up. Yeah, Dr. Deadclick. Yeah, there's a fair amount of OPSEC stuff and what we can talk about and that kind of stuff. And I actually imagine that triggered pretty hard today and yesterday with the shutdown. Because I personally know, because I work on a big NOAA contract, I personally know that like things have changed behind the scenes because of it, right? Like we're still producing what we produce, right? The main government stuff is still happening, but there's a lot of upstream and downstream stuff that's not happening right now. And it's like, is that needed? Well, I guess we're going to see, right? Like we're going to see if that crap's needed, but anyways, follow Robodom's links if you guys want. If you want to hop in the Discord, we have like 4,200 of us, man. There's a lot of us down there. And if you guys find anything useful, particularly useful to you, or I guess funny, but I'm not really trying to be funny, you can always ! clip it. I think that actually works. Hold on, let me go to stream. Oh no, I didn't mean to do Streamlabs desktop. Damn it, get out of here. Streamer bot, where did you go? Oh, that's wonderful. I got this thing. Hold on, I gotta close this all down. Get out of here. Streamer bot. Okay, make sure that that's up, and then if that's up, that should have. Where's he at? Streamer bot should not take this long to start. There he is. Okay. When that's up, I'm pretty sure ! clip always works. Okay. And if you guys find anything useful or something you want to, that kind of stuff. Leith, how's it going? I appreciate you being here. Everybody that kind of hangs out. All right, we got to play another round of this. Hold on. I'm getting the itch. Let's play with the sword guy. I like the sword guy. We'll go run around in the desert a little bit. Let's see how we do with the sword. All right. We're going to have us a little thing against some elites. I have not leveled my guy up in any way, so he is terrible right now. But maybe get a little bit better on the sword. Alright, there we go. Sword's a little better. Let's go with more sword. Okay. Take cheese because it poisons enemies. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that's what the moldy cheese does. We can't do anything with that blue microwave yet because we need to have the you need to have blue items for that to work. That's purple item. Okay. That's actually funny, Leith. This does look a lot like RuneScape after... I never played the RuneScape, but I've seen a fair amount of people play it. And this does look a lot like RuneScape, if you guys aren't familiar. Take agility. I need to move faster. I'm going to die right here, and I never even... My guy's gonna die. My guy's gonna die maidenless. All right. I was messing around too much. Anyways, count all the running processes. Boom. Run the U2 script 1.sh, right? And look at what it shows you. That is this. That's going to execute. It'll be, we could just run tilde / but I prefer the full path. So root u2 script 1.sh. What are you shown? Inspect the file and see if you can modify it to show the first 15 lines, right? And that might be cat root u2 sh, right? And then modify note, modify with vi or vim. You may have to rtfm to continue. Right, this is not a course on how to modify files, right? Like, and I've told you guys this before. I've taught enough Linux over the years, like to college students, that I know that if I put people in VI, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next hour, is getting people out of VI. So, Dr. Deadclick, he said RuneScape owes you so much of your life back. Me, it's WoW. I played World of Warcraft from. I was probably in it about 6 months after it came out, and then through I made it up to level 70, and then I played the first two seasons of Arenas, which if I had to guess, they're probably up in like the 30s or 40s of seasons of Arenas now. But I played the first two, and me and my brothers were all gladiators. We were not brutal gladiators, which is like top 1 or 2%, but we were like top 5%. We were like 2,400 teams, 2, 3s, and 5-mans. We were fucking monsters. Like, my brother had a Thunder Fury from level 60, and it was still the best one-hand weapon at level 70. It was, man. I played a warlock named Baraga, and then my brother still uses that name now because he played that warlock after I quit. But we cleared all the end game content at level 60. The only stuff we didn't finish, like we finished like 6 of like 15 bosses out of Nax. Our 40 people that we had for raiding, and we had a pretty good sized guild, so like our raid, our guild was like, I don't know, 100 and something people, but then like 40 raiders. We always had like between 10 and 15 people that were there in a 40-man raid that just, they had no business being there. They weren't going to move left when it was time to move left, and they weren't going to move right when it was time to move right, and they were going to be fucking baking pizzas or doing whatever, and they were not going to be focused on the game, and it was a waste of time. I mean, it took us like 6 months to beat the Twin Emps, and it's like, oh my god, Twin Emps were not that hard. It was a battle where you couldn't let them get together in the center of the room, so you moved them out here. Then they flipped, and somebody else picked up aggro, and then they flipped again, and they were basically dead. They were probably one of the easier boss mechanics of any fight ever. But we had people that couldn't stop targeting yellow stuff in the middle of the room. It's like, guys, you can't target the yellow beetles in the middle of the room. It aggroes the whole room and kills everybody. Well, people are going across and tab targeting. Tab targeting doesn't hit yellow stuff, guys. Well, it did for me that one time. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you can't point fingers because then people are like, all right, I just won't play. And you're like, well, thanks for wasting everybody's time, right? So it ended up being a lot more like a job than actually. But yeah, me and my brothers used to always joke around. If you could have cloned 4 of us, we would, or cloned 40 of us, I think we would have been like world first on all kinds of stuff. But yeah, what can you do, right? Like we loved playing that. We love PvP, man. We pushed a bunch of people up into. We were all horde. We were all horde players. That's all we played. We were not Alliance. We were not cool. I could not walk you through any of the Alliance towns. I don't know a single damn one of them, except when I would bring my rogue in there and grief people out of the battlegrounds. I did that a lot. I was a jerk. But that was also one of my favorite things. Or I'd go in with my druid, and then I would just heal the rogues while they were murdering everybody. So it was good. Yeah, it was hard to work with. It's always hard to work with people that aren't going to pay attention, right? That's true of a normal job. That's true of engineering. Hey, we've got these 100 servers to patch for tonight, and they're like, what? And you're like, oh my God, just stay over there on mute and don't touch anything. Like you know, it's a hassle. I can't deal with it. I'll do this stuff myself. Anyways, the book I'm working, so everybody knows, the book I'm working on right now is free, right? This is just part of our course. I'm just trying to get it hammered out and get it done tonight for lab 2. So lab 1 is done, right? But I did add one thing at the beginning, or I need to add one thing, which is you may also let's say lab server. No. Killer Coda. Right, I'm going to say Killer Coda is recommended for this because a lot of the stuff will be in Killer Coda. Let me go grab the exact link to this exact course, which is, I already have it back here. I guess I should just grab it from back here. Where yet? Automation Labs. This lab. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to use that. We're not going to do that lab now, but I just want to make sure that that's there. All right. And I'm going to do something similar to that. Recommend, and then I'll get that link when I get it. I haven't built this lab out yet. This hasn't been pushed up. So the workflow for Killer Coda, in case anybody ever wants to build labs from, they're free. You can build labs out there all day for you and your friends or whatever. I have about 70 labs out there now for people to use, right? They are here. I think Robodon may have even been doing them, but there's my labs and Fisherman's labs and just stuff from like our Prolog community for people to get better at doing Linux and admin type work. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but these labs are specifically around the concepts of automation stuff, right? Like doing automation type things. And I might even put a break at the beginning of each of these. Well, we'll leave it for now. Killer Coda recommended, and then in a controlled fashion. All right. So over here we did this. What are you shown? Modify the script, and then we really don't need this last one except to say this same thing again, which is here. Run the UO2 script, so it'll be wait a minute. Did I really put script 1 there? See, this is why you guys can't let me. Man, you guys can't let me do anything. Now we're going to do the script 2 script, and there's the U2 script 2. Script 2. Inspect the file and see if you can modify it to show, what is that file? So script 2 is here. And we're going to need to do that here in a second. Inspect the file and see if you can make it use a different date format. You may have to man. Oh, you know what? Can't do that. You may have to read the man pages for date command. Right? And then that one is cat u2 script2.sh. Okay. So those commands look right. To execute. Okay. To make all of these executable now, I have to come in here and I have to make them executable like this. So I'm wondering if I put my comma right here. U2 script pi, that is correct. What other ones do you know about? Are you going to do them all for me? No, those are not right. Nope. The right one is U2 script 2.sh, right? that one's correct. So it's vibe coding for me to help me out. And then the next one is file. And this one will be u2 script dot script1 dot pi. All right. By the way, we might need to change the order on that because that's going to bug me. That might not bug anybody else, and nobody else in all the world might ever see that, but that's going to bug me that it's script u2 script 1, script 2, script 2, script 1. It'll look better if I move this one up. You know what? I'll fix it later because I don't really care right now. I kind of want to get this thing to be set up the first time, and then I'll come back and do that part after because, you know, some of you guys know I don't work super fast. But let's grab all this real quick because I am going to need to steal this for the next part. Yeah, we're going to need this for the next one. Yeah, always be organized. Fair enough. Okay. So that's that one. Verify has just been true because you can just move forward through the lab as you're ready. And this one is going to be you have decided to verify and test Python on your system. Verify. Nope. We're going to say interact with scripts that are running Python and see if you can modify them for their various output. Right? This is always, I think, useful. Don't need to verify any of that stuff. And here, and boom. And now it's going to be script.py. And it's going to be script.py. Pi, not pu. What are you shown? Inspect the file, and if you can modify it to show the first 5 lines, because it's doing the same thing, but it's doing it with Python. So that's the first and last 15 lines, right? And then that'll be just catting that .py, right? VI or Vim, you may have to read the field manual. Run the pi. Oh my gosh, my fingers. And then that'll be pi. And then what he's shown can make a difference in date format. You may have to read the so wait, did we do the script? Wait, what did the script do for the second one on pi? This one reads different. This one does something else. So let's modify our script. Nope, don't touch that. Let's modify this. Inspect the file and see if you can make it use a different shell. Maybe one you've seen from other output in this lab. And that's going to be cat.py, right? So you're going to go and look at that and modify it, right? And then that's the same thing. You're going to modify with VI or Vim, and generally speaking, you're going to need to make sure that you read the field manual on those if you don't know how to do them. All right, this one also needs that at the bottom too. Control Z, put it back, Control S, save. And there's that. All right, so now we have all those pieces. Python execution. Okay. Let's go with, I'm just going to push this now, and the last one's not done. I haven't done the last one yet, but let's see how far along. If you guys have ever seen me work this, you know that I kind of like grade them over and over again until they're like perfect. I kind of have a little bit of fanaticism about me as far as that goes. So I will like add more components, and I will test it again, and then I will test it again, and then when I'm done, when the final thing's done, I'll test it again, and there'll probably be some wording and stuff that pisses me off, and then I'll test it again and again until it's finally good. Some of you guys have seen me do this before, right? If you haven't, well, here we go. Let's say added second automation draft, right? And this will be a draft of that. There's going to be so many things to change. I don't want to say I'm doing this in a rush, but I'm definitely doing this faster than I probably should. But screw it. We're going live. So this, if I go up one, if I go back to here, you'll see it pull today. So September 27th was my last git commit into this repository. You're going to see it trigger because it's going to pull from today, from right now. In fact, it'll be like 6 hours in the future because it's UTC time. But it'll be there. Did I close Mega Bonk? I did not. All right. Still hasn't pulled. Oh, I didn't push it up, guys. All right, here it goes. You're going to see it probably in the next 10 seconds or so. It'll push up. It'll go, oh, there's some. It's like, oh, there's something to do. I'll get right on that, boss. And it'll pull it down. And then now I've got it Wednesday, October 1st at, that's my time here. But up here, the sync was at UTC time, which is probably the best way to do sync time because then everybody's on the same time. This is me in Phoenix time. I'm 7 hours behind UTC, so it shows that too. It shows when my git commit was pushed on my side. That's actually useful. I like that. Let's go back in. It's not done yet. It's busted. And you say, Scott, why? What's busted about it? There's this one thing I didn't change here. Over here, we've got this structure.json, and the structure.json needs the next path, and it needs to be exactly the one that's up there, which is unit 2, and then interacting with OS. Whoops. That guy. Boom. Now, we don't need the comma there yet. And those are not... Actually, how close are those to write? Let's go see how close those are to write. No, those were not going to be right for this. Because these are the ones over here. So it has to be exactly the same. Control S. Let's see. Unit 2 interacting with OS. Unit 2 interacting with OS. Why does that O look different than that O? It's definitely an O and not a 0. All right. Control S. Save it. Fixed structure, and then boom, and then we'll go check that out here in a second. I really want to get this done for you guys, so you guys had some lab work. I mean, you already had, well, and I don't think I actually ever officially put it out, but I did put out the discussions, but I didn't put the worksheet out, I don't think. So I'll get the worksheet out here tonight as well. But I want to get you guys the lab at least set up in a functional way here. It should probably be pulled, and probably the lab is done right here. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Now look, it has the same name. I didn't change the name or nothing. All right, let's go fix the name. So it's again, it's got a lot to fix. So in the index.json, lab 2, interacting with the OS. Test and execute. So execute your automation tools to interact. Okay. Oh, what's busted there? Oh, it's adding. The hell got added there? That was too much. You're doing too much, bot, or whatever you are. Intro. Okay, those are all good for now. Intro foreground there. Let's go look at our foreground intro. Look at you learning automation. You interacted with the operating system using your different automation tools. And again, the design of this course, the reason we set this up was not to teach people Bash or Python or Ansible. That was absolutely 100% not the purpose of the course. You had to go kind of do that on your own. And we have a whole Ansible course on digging into Ansible if you guys want the link for that. That's in the labs there, right? But the purpose of the course was to get people doing those tools that they maybe already use. Some of our guys are better in Bash than me for sure. Like they do Bash all the time. And some of the guys probably know Python. Actually, I'd say the majority of guys on our server know Python better than me. But I specialize kind of in Ansible, and there's still guys that know Ansible better than me. But I use these tools to make my life easier as an admin and as an engineer for like the last 20 something years. So I have some insights there, and that's what I'm trying to impart to people. That's what, like, you know, the discussions are about that stuff. The discussions are not us sitting down and coding. There's coding classes all over the net that are better than anything I could do, right? That stuff's the most abundant thing around. I am here, or I am showing you guys more about getting in here and doing this stuff this way. So let's make sure that oh, we didn't push it. Hold on. Fixed wording in second automation lab. Just because the commit does show up, I do. Whoops. Save all and commit. Yeah, it'll save for you. I forgot to save some of them. Boom. Structure's good. Index is good. Boom. I didn't save that. That was the one I didn't save right there. All right. Go back here. We got the 2022, 2025. So the most recent commit's about to come up here. 25. Good. We'll give it a few seconds. I think it takes a little while to propagate through their system. Hey, it's what you get for free, right? So we take what we can get for free. Automation Labs 2. Execute your automation tools to interact with the OS. That's fine. I might want to lowercase that automation there, but let's go in here. And let's see how much this is working for us real quick. Let's just see. I'm going to turn off the auto rotation for a second. Stop. There we go. Let's just see real quick how this kind of looks. Also, this is the link. This link will not change. Therefore, that's the link that's going right here. Right? And then we can pull that back up. Good. Boom. Prolog Automation. This lab is designed as part of a larger set of instruction that is free from the Professional Linux Users Group. Prolog, this lab book for this course, can be found here. That link should always bring people here. We're going to modify those links later, but that's fine. It's not hard to do. Here's our solution. Check all the running processes. Well, we're waiting. All right, this sounds like a good time to take a little break. So let's go fix. That's super funny that thing's turned on. Turn off our camera. Do this. Let's go to Hourglass. Pull up my Hourglass for a little bit and say take a break. And a walk. And we'll go 8 minutes, because 8 minutes is typically my break. I'm gonna walk around a little bit. I'll be back, and then we'll keep going on this stuff. If you guys want Mega Bonk for the sound, oh, I died. Very sad about that. There, you guys can have the sound from Mega Bonk. I'll be back. I gotta take a little walk, stretch my legs out a little. You guys know I'm not allowed to crunch water bottles on stream anymore, so I won't crunch those water bottles. I've already drank, but I do have more to drink now. All right. We are checking out the course. Looks like the course is running here. We're still on a little bit of a break, but I'll move this over. Still taking a break. I'm going to hit some buttons while we're waiting. 205 processes, good. That worked. Checking the top of the Etsy Pass WD, checking the bottom. I already see that I want to add something to that. So we're going to modify that a little bit. So we're going to modify those scripts. Can we cat the script and see what it is? Yes. Okay, good, good, good. Can we run the other script and see what it did? And can we cat out the script? Oh, we also need to ls in this directory to see that log that was created. Okay, so we need to add that in there. So let's come back here. Let's look at our assets. And in script 1, on our echo, I want to add just this, right? Because, anybody know why? It just was hard to see, right? It was hard to see that in the rest of the noise there, right? So we'll just add that so it's a little easier to see, and I'll hit Control S on that. And then the other script, oh, we're going to get to the other script here in a second, but then we'll come down here and we'll say, what are you shown? What happened in the script? Let's do this real quick. We're still technically on break, guys, so I'll be back on camera here in a second. ls-l root, what happened in the script? Did it work correctly? This is important, right? Did the script, did the automation thing that you wanted to do the thing it was supposed to do? And if not, well, now we got problems. All right, that part's done. We'll call that good, and we'll go in there. And then lab activities, you decide to test your Python on the system, interact with the scripts that are there. So we'll run Python. Python did some things, right? It did some execution, put out some dots, did some other stuff. Does that look like the top and the bottom of the file? Not 100% sure. So let's go look at what it was trying to do. Cat it out, and it says, this script displays the first and last 10 lines. Okay. And then this script displays just the last 10 lines. At the bottom here, it does just the last 10 lines. Okay, so the first 10 up here, that looks about right. That shows the last 10 there, and then it showed just the last 10 again. Okay, so that's net effect what we expected it to do. Could we modify it? Sure. And then could we run this? And then if we cat that, what did it do? So let's go look at those files real quick. User sbin no login. So it may not find. So let's go look at our file real quick, and we will do this to kind of make our lives easier. Let me show you guys. I talked in the last few days when we were doing this. I talked about quick and dirty stuff, and if I say like quick and dirty, it's like I have to be able to do something to make this work. This did not work the way I expected. So now I need to go inspect the data, and I have to run something kind of quick and dirty against it. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see what I'm about to do. I'm going to cat Etsy pass WD. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to awk, and I'm going to filter by colons, and I want the only print the 7th field, which is also, it could be the last field, which is NF, but I know this file always has 7 fields, so I get away with 7 because I know the format of the data. And then I'm going to sort those, and I'm going to unique them, and I'm going to count the unique lines. So I went all the way to the end of the file. I sorted only the last value, and then I counted them up as I did a unique on them. So, well, It was never gonna find bin no login. Look, I looked for slash. I'd looked for it without this S. It was never gonna find it. So watch, let's go modify that real quick and make it find it. And it should find 36 of those no logins. So let's vi root u2 script u2 script 2.py, right? And we'll go down here and I'm going to change this for the line to be sbin. I didn't realize the format of the data, so now I had to do something quick and dirty. Now let's run it again. Oh, let's run it. And now it found them all. And it only listed the name. So that's good. Let's go modify our script. So we put it there, but we didn't put it in the Git repository that's actually going to produce these labs going forward, right? So here, it's sbin no login. And I might say, you know what? That's one of the ones that has the most. So maybe let's only look for the bin bash ones. So maybe we do bin bash instead here. So now we'll only find the ones that have script of the and displays the username if bin bash is the shell. And that's exactly right. It actually wanted to fix it for me. That's funny. We'll hit Control S back here, so now that's going to be saved in. And we're going to make sure all these are good like we wanted. Yep. Okay. So that part of the lab, all those parts of the labs are all done. So now I just need to get the Ansible one done. And the Ansible one's going to be, it's going to interact with the OS a little different because we do use Ansible. I do use Ansible against local chroot environments, but maybe I'm trying to think of a fun way to do this, or a good way to do this. Let's do this same thing. Let's make host assets new file, and we're gonna make the one in here u2, and it'll be script.yaml. And we can use YAML or YML. YAML I find tends to be when we're doing a lot of K3 stuff, and YML I find is kind of the way that we did it. Wait, am I saying that backwards? Huh. Oh, I don't even remember anymore. It literally doesn't matter, but I swear YML is the one that we normally used for Ansible most of the time. Somebody check me on that. Is that right? I don't even remember anymore. Like my brain's fried and I don't remember anymore. So u2 script YAML, that's not even good. I need to rename it script1.yaml. You know what? We're just gonna do one for. We'll do 1 and 2. All right. So script1.yml, and then we'll do the same thing. New file. u2 script 2.yml. Good. So now on the script 1, we're going to go dash, right? And we're going to start with an Ansible playbook, right? So, because I'm fantastically bad at starting my own playbooks, I go steal them from myself. Where are we at here? Oh, CD root Ansible. All right. Dash hosts. And we're going to use something like localhost here. Paste. But this will be localhost. Right? Localhost. And then we can say, hold on. The become true isn't strictly speaking necessary because we're already root, but we can do that for fun. Vars, we don't have any special vars. We're going to do vars in a future week. In fact, for people that were paying attention, that's vars are going to be in 5. We're going to be touching things, but not necessarily calling them out as like how we use them in the enterprise until later. But now we come down to tasks, right? And then in here, this thing's trying to do everything. This This thing's trying to build the freaking scripts for us. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. Hold on. You don't even need me anymore. I'm just gonna go over here. Hold on here. You guys just, this thing will do it all for us now. I mean, that's actually pretty good. Hold on. We're gonna take it all, but we're gonna fix it. We're gonna call it create generated script 1, and we're gonna call this generated script 2, and then we're gonna change the names here to generated. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Script 1 and then generated. Man, I mean it's already better than. You guys don't even need me anymore. And it's got the right mode on it. Oh God, what do you good? Oh, all my time learning this crap, and this thing can generate in a second. It's funny. And you know what? It's funny. I tell you guys, like, all this stuff just showed up one day. I know you got to update VS Code and stuff like that, but I didn't put anything in VS Code for this. This just showed up one day. And then I was reading something that said, like, you get 3,000 of these a day free, and then you could pay for a model that's basically like, how many did I say? 3,000 a day free? Yeah, and then you could pay for a model that's basically unlimited of this. And I'm like, that's only like $10 a month. I'm like, oh man. This is like what I do professionally. Like, this is like I build Ansible for. Now look, I have to tune this thing towards, like, okay, so like the reporting of Ansible from like Bacula. Bacula's a backup tool, and go read my tape managers, give me back that data, put it into some variables, and then report it up through like Slack or Discord or whatever. Slack is what we use professionally, or Teams. Teams is a very common professional one as well. But I show you guys, and I showed you guys this in the security course, even though it wasn't an automation course. It does not matter what the tool is. It matters that you understand that you're sending it. We can go man, it used to be Stack Overflow. Now it's just this thing doing all our coding for us. It's that you understand what you're doing, and then you direct this thing to do the right thing. You don't even need me anymore. I'm sad. No, I'm just kidding. We can still play video games. All right. That thing does it all. All right, so now, hold on. I bet this thing's going to run them. Oh, my gosh. This thing. All right, so let's save this. I can't believe that's going to generate everything for us. Ansible lint is not available. That's fine. We don't need Ansible linter. That looks good enough for government work. All right, get out of here. Why do you got that over there if it's going to... That does make me mad. All right, let's do this one. Hold on. Let's see how quick this thing picks up what we're doing. Oh no, it's already smarter than me. All right, become true, sure. And then what do you want to do here? Now see, that would be create, but we don't want to create. I want to no, I want to no. Let's see if we go here and say generate or run the generated script and debug. Oh my god, it's gonna do it, all of it. All right. Oh, whoops. No, hold on. Now look at that. That's exactly what I would have done there, which is basically just do a run command, generate it, and gather all the output into a variable, and then run the variable to see what it did. That's it, guys. You literally don't need me anymore. Hold on. No, hold on. This is it. This is me now. Let me turn this off so it actually shows me with my hand. This is me now. This is. I'm just gonna go work on my doctorate. Actually, this thing will probably write my doctorate for me. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna write my own. But I'm saying, like, geez, man, this is. Now look, like, yeah, truly, we did have to guide it to the right stuff, but man, that makes the syntax a lot easier. Man, What a world we live in, guys. And look, I know that this isn't anything new, right? Like I know most of you guys are like, oh man, this is this fucking caveman learning fire the first time. We've known this stuff for 5 years. Sure, whatever. But this is I'm interested in that. I mean, I'm not like interested in this thing. This isn't really going to take my job, but it's going to make certain parts of what I do easier for sure. Okay, so we've got all that, and then you might have to read the field manual. All right, let's go to the Ansible one. We didn't update the Ansible part yet, so the Ansible part's still the old one. So we do need to update that. Let's get out of there, and let's do the Ansible one now. So step 3 has the same finish. Man, I'm just telling you, like that's super simple. All right, verify that you have You have decided to verify how or interact with the operating system using Ansible. Execute to see their functionality. All right, so we're going to go get rid of this one, and the general idea of what we're doing is right here, right? So boom. General structure of what we're doing for this lab is here. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to modify it for each of the tasks that we're doing. And run the u2 script.yaml and look at what it shows you, or look at what it does. Shows you is accurate here. So this is going to be Ansible. Root u2 script1.yaml. Script1.yaml. Okay. Specify, see if you can modify it. YAML. VRVim. Now run the u2 script.yaml. BYML. And look at what it shows you. We've shown inspect the file, see if it make different output shell. Make it use a different make it use a content. Period. And then modify with VRVim. All right, Control S. We need to go back to this one and fix something. There's actually a problem in this one here. Maybe make it use a different user shell. Control S. Okay. Man, that was surprisingly painless to do. All right, let's go see if it all works. So, come over here. Updated step 3 of lab 2. Boom. Commit. Push it up. We'll see it over here on this side. We'll see it go through the motions. We'll see it pull one from, it'll be 2050 instead of 2025. And then honestly, that part of the lab is done. I have to write, oh, let's push it up, hold on. I have to write the lab write-up part. But that's done. I can also pull these files since I have them here locally. I can pull these files and put them directly in the auto servers. So then they're actually in the auto servers as part of the course. So anybody that goes directly into that server would have the ability to do whatever they needed to. All right, let's go see how this lab is kind of shaken out here. So we're going to go with 2, lab 2. All right. it's still going. All right, we need a minute. We're gonna let it go, and then we'll move on. All right. We'll get this going. I think the wife's home too. Hey, wifey, are you home? Okay, I'm streaming a little bit still. All right. We're almost there, guys. We're almost done with this. We did hit 4,200 the other day officially, so that's pretty cool. You guys are welcome to hang out down there. It looks like Robodom's dropping the Discord for you guys. That's always free. I think there's, like, you know, good number of people. I had to share a link today, and it's funny, like, I very rarely see the server in the context that, like, the link showed. And the link showed, okay, we have 4,200 people, 670 something online, and I'm like, it's not bad. I mean, we're not some giant server. We're still kind of a little place that you can hang out and joke with people and know who people are, you know. But we have a lot of stuff going on in our Discord. A lot of people talking and working on stuff. All right, so we have this, and then it says checking the top, checking the bottom. So that was something we added since the last run. We can cat the file out and see what it's doing. Cool. We can run the next file and see that it created a file, and then we can go look at the file and say, okay, yeah, that's the file that we just created. Cool. And then we can cat it and we can modify it in some way if we wanted to. All right, that's pretty cool. We go forward, we go look at our Python stuff. Our Python run is gonna show us the top and the bottom of that file, and then just the bottom. We can go look at that and see how that was being done, right? Then we came down here and we run the second one, and it's gonna read out. It's just gonna put out these 4 values, and it's like, well, what the heck are those 4 values? Well, we came in here and we looked at the end, and we looked just for bin bash. And if bin bash was there, we printed out the username. So then I said, could you modify it and look for something else? Like, could you modify that for like user sbin no login or bin false, right? Could you look for those, right? So that's something that you can modify and do in the lab if you wanted. And then here's our Ansible stuff. Could we run the first script and will Ansible work? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, you guys gotta stop me. I do that crap every time. I've been running Ansible for like 12 years now. I do that literally every single time I write a playbook. Do you guys know that? Isn't that kind of sad? Like, I have literally been running Ansible the entire time that it's existed. I still don't write playbook when I execute it. I always have to do that twice. It's kind of funny. That's fine, because this one wasn't going to work anyways. Right? There we go. Ansible playbook. All right. Control S to save that. Let's come over here. Let's fix our stupidity. All right. So that'll run. Oh, well, we didn't push the file. All right. So that was my fault. So we have those new assets, but we didn't add them as part of the index.json. So that makes sense. If we go here, we have to add them now. So comma, and then let's see. Does he find them? No, it did not. It did not find the ones that we have. So we'll say, whoops, file, and then it's like U2. That's not the name of it. U2, and it's should be script 1.yaml, right? Why is it not? Hold on, that's dumb. Target is correct. That's not correct. It'd be 2.yaml, and then here we need to add. Whoops. Oh my gosh. There we go. Good. That is correct. U2 1, so U2 script 1.yaml, U2 script 2.yaml. It's funny. It's funny. These do not need to be executable. I'm gonna pull that off because these do not need to be executable. Because why? I mean, right? They're part of the. They don't actually need to be there. or they don't need to be executable to work. So that's an interesting behavior that I might want to call out. I might say at the end of this all, yeah, so at the end of this, I might say do one final check the root. What is a difference between the .sh, .py, and .yml files? And that'll just be another ls-l. In step 3, where it belongs, yes. Markdown should have, oops, did I not save that other one? Okay, boom. And let's go look at our index.json. u2 script1.yaml dropped into root. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. That should be it. I did an empty commit, which I don't normally do. Changed lab and added assets. It's fine. Sync changes up. There we go. All right. And then it's almost 9, and I'll be done with this. And then technically I'm going out of town for 4 days. Me and the wife are going, well, not technically, I guess. We're going up to Montana. So that's her 10th, that's her 49th state. She wanted to hit all 50 states before 50. She's got 1 more year to do it. Yeah, we're going tomorrow, Rope Dumb, yep. Flying up. And then this will be 49, and then she's just got Alaska. We'll do Alaska before November of next year, which is when she turns 50. She wants to do a big summer. We'll do a big cruise in summer, which would be cool. Bring bunches of family with us. All right, let's go interact with the OS and see how this runs. If this is done, then we'll call this section of the book good. I might add some lab stuff, but I can at least publish the. I can at least give the guys some of this stuff then, so that'll be good. Yeah, I appreciate that, Robodom. Yeah. The goal is to keep the wife happy in that case, right? All right. Yeah, always the goal, for sure. Well, the goal today was just make it through my college class. I had to talk through that and get all that going. All right, this thing's almost done. Come on. I don't know why I had us check. Oh, yeah, check all the running processes just because you're on a server doing stuff, right? You're interacting in a bash prompt, right? Interact with the OS using bash and scripts provided. Yeah, so that's what you were doing first. Yes, which makes sense. So let that get done. Check all the processes. Run all, look at what's going on in the system. Interact in some way with a running server. Very important kind of thing to know how to do. I don't know why Twitch is alerting me to all kinds of dumb stuff, but that's taking a long time to, come on. Run the old Ansibles. Come on. Actually, we're not even to Ansible yet. It's installing Ansible in the background. That's what's taken a long time on this one, in fact. If they would just build Ansible into the labs, we wouldn't have to do that. But, not everybody's going to want to run it. On server. Really? Are we having some kind of problem here? Can we not install Ansible? You know what? Sometimes when you go back into these labs too quickly, it's still building them. I'm just gonna back out. I'm just gonna go back in a second. You know, I actually don't know the difference between Ansible and Ansible Core Run Amucker. I never played with Core, unless that's like an execution thing. If it is, I just don't know. Like, I think I played with something like that, but when we get into the course when we get to the later sections, I'm gonna try to get AWX stood up for you guys, and then let you guys use that as well. Because really, automation's great, but orchestration is really what kind of turns it into a powerhouse for us, right? Like we have to show everybody how to do the automations, right? Like people have to know how to do that. But then, like, you really start getting powerful when you get into some of these other orchestrations that we do within an environment. Oh, what modules are included? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell. I mean, I could probably tell it as I'm trying to execute it, but other than that, I literally don't know. But if anybody does use Core, that'd be cool. Maybe ask in the Ansible channel, because we have a fair amount of people that do a fair amount of Ansible in our server, like a fair amount of engineers. I know Pico does quite a bit. I know Michael Pessa does quite a bit. So some of these different guys that are out there. Man, this thing's taking longer than I expect to just install a environment. It's installing one package. That's all it's doing. One package. Oh my gosh. It's the absolute worst how much, like, stupid Windows 11 tries to pull shit up in front of your face when you're moving stuff. It's the worst. Execute. All right. Oh, is it done? Okay, good. Let's blast through these real quick. Boom, boom. Run the script. See what we expect. Cat it. See what we expect. Good. We can make it bigger again. Run it. ls it. Run it. Boom. Okay. That part's done. That's as we expect. You've decided to verify and test Python on your system. Interact with scripts that are running Python. See if they do what you expect. So that does something. Look at it and go, okay. It read the top and the bottom of the file, and then it read just the bottom of the file. So it opened it here, and then it opened it again, right? And I don't know when Python cleanup occurs. I used to do this in Perl. The file would stay open as long as I didn't open another file to that file handle. In this case, I don't know. Like, I don't know that this actually didn't just redundantly open it again right here, but to read over it again, it's fine. You know, whatever. And then did that, so that's cool. That's what the file looks like. We'll run this. It sees the output, and we'll look at that, and then we could modify that if we needed to. Modify VRM. Good. Now, last one is Ansible. We run the Ansible playbook, and this should run against localhost and. Why is there one on the end? What? Well, that should be. Oh, that didn't copy in right. This should be here, and this should be here. That should work. Yeah, that was. Did I break that in some way? All right, let's keep running through. So then we could cap the file if we wanted to and look at it, and then we run the second one. Did that one break in the same way, or did this one work? This one worked. Showed us the output of the scripts as it ran. Showed us the output of that second one, and then we can go look at that. Oh, I didn't change that to .yaml. All right, So there's a few things to fix in this one. Let's go back. So for step 3, we had a few problems. We had to fix the .yaml, so we actually look at the right file. That'll show that. Good, good. ls-l, good. All right, so that's good. And then the actual script 1 was busted in that our mode wasn't properly indented to the module, because that's a module argument. So it had to be properly indented. So Control S, do that. Control S. Let's finish the lab and see what the end looks like. With you learning automation, you interacted with the operating system using your different automation tools back. Okay, good. I'm good calling those. Let me think. Hold on. I need to push this up one more time. Fixed. Step 3 and good. All right, we do got to try it one more time. We got to do the lab again one more time. It's always true. I'm a nut about this kind of stuff. So this will be updated to 2107, which is my time, 2107. And then when that's done, we'll drop back in there and we'll make sure the lab works. Right, so there's our time. There's our stuff. We'll drop into our automation labs. We got automation 1, which is tools. Automation 2, which is interacting with the OS. Good, good. Here will be the lab coming up. And it should have all the fixes in there. All the fixes, all the things we need should be kind of where they belong. So we'll let that start. Go check on the wife packing real quick. We'll wait a minute. We'll finish this up and then we'll probably call it a night, but I'll make sure the guys know that we have stuff mostly done. I guess I still have to write in the book a little bit, but I can at least release the I can at least give the copy of the worksheet, so then that's done, and then the worksheet will point to the right lab. Yeah, and I might have to fix worksheet 1. Yeah. Couple things to fix. Just a couple. This lab is designed as part of a larger set of instruction that is free from the Professional Linux Users Group Prologue. The lab books for this course can be found here. That should still work. Yep. We're in interacting with the operating system, so that's coming up. You have found yourself in a Bash shell. Bash natively interacts with the Linux OS via built-in tools and native tools. Interact with the OS using Bash and scripts provided in /root. Okay? Just hit our PSEF and hit that just so that they come up when it's done, and then we'll keep going. There we go. They're done. Okay. So now let's look at our first script. Gave us some output. Cat the script. It did the things that we thought it did. It shows us what the script was. And then we run this script and it made a file. And we look at the file and we see that that file was created. Okay. And then we cat out that file. Boom. All right. So that first part done. Write up some stuff in the lab book for people to think a little bit more about it, and that whole thing will be done. Decide to verify and test Python on your system. Interact with scripts that are running Python to see if you can modify them for their various outputs. So we run the first one, and it does some stuff, and then you sit around and noodle on what it was doing, and you cat it out and you read what it was doing, and you go, okay, that's interesting. Then we come down here and we run this, and we see these 4, but what actually was happening. And then we actually go look and say that it was reading that file, and then it was stripping and looking for anything that ends with bash, and it was then printing out the first part of that. And it was stripping the lines. It should have been for line and lines, line strip ends with bash, so it has F colon. I wonder where, I don't know Python well enough. We see it works, but it's using line strip, and that must by default know the field delimiter. Oh no, there it is right there. There's the field delimiter. Okay. Yeah. So it just looks for it to end with that. Perfect. Okay. I was trying to figure that out and looking at it, and I didn't realize the split's down there. All right. You've decided to interact with the operating system using Ansible. Execute some playbooks to see their functionality. This should run. No problems. Generate some scripts. And then we cat it out. We say, okay, what was it doing? It generated some files. And then we go and we run those and we look at what's actually happening inside of them. Okay, cool. Then we cat that out. We look at what that looks like to understand it a little bit, and then we do our ls-l, and it shows us that here's our generated scripts and they are executable, but our YAML specifically for Ansible did not have to be executable. That's the thing that I think people should note. Your Ansible scripts sit inert unless Ansible picks them up and does something with them. That's an important thing to know if you're, I don't know, you're in an environment and you don't want people executing stuff. Well, you can't accidentally execute an Ansible playbook. You have to call Ansible. So, I guess it would be similar if you didn't put a shebang at the top of a pie, any pie script. You would also have to call Python 3 first. The shebang line at the top of that file, up here, the shebang line was telling the interpreter to go use that. It was telling Bash to use that to execute this. That's what it was telling us, right? You can modify that up and down. You can use as many shells as you have in a system, right? We just happen to only be using 3 types of tools for the most part here. So, all right, I'll call that good. That part of it's good. Let's go look at the end. Look at you learning automation. You interacted with the operating system using your different tools. All right, so I actually have 2 different Killer Coda labs to add. Let me put this up here. I have 2 different Killer Coda labs that I want to add to the lab section so that people can test them. I'll get the links over here because these are the links to them. Because I never bothered putting up before, but okay. That's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight. I'm gonna drop off here. I'm pretty beat. We will talk again, probably not this weekend, but early next week. I'll be hanging out. I will be down in the Discord, guys. Don't worry about that. I'll be down in the Discord, so we'll always be hanging out down there. But we do not have our meetings this week. We have all kinds of other meetings, guys. There's all kinds of other fun stuff going on. Oh God, look at that thing. Up in our Discord this weekend. It's just not the original course. There's Bash Study Group, late night Bash Study. I won't be kicking that off, right? That's not. Oh, I'm showing you guys. I'm trying to talk to you guys, and I'm just not showing you the right thing. Sorry. Bash Study Group, late night Bash Study. That won't be me kicking that off. Writers Room is always on Sunday, October 5th. You go meet some of the guys that are kind of working and getting better at this kind of stuff, right? And they're helping write up a lot of these courses, right? I just kind of was slapping them all in the Discord, and they put them into a really awesome kind of Git workflow and published them and all that stuff. We will not have, there will be no lab maintenance this week because I'll be gone. So I'm going to cancel just this event. So there's not that. And then we'll be back on October 11th for the security engineering courses running. We'll be in week 3, and the automation course will also be in week 3. And I will be caught up by then on this, I hope. Although I do have a lot of dissertation work, I'll be able to move that around. Prolog lab maintenance again was canceled for this week, so then it goes to October 12th. All right, and we're gonna get some guys in there working. I have at least one person who's volunteered for that, so we'll get people in there working on stuff too. All right, look, it even says I'm working on Mega Bonk right here. All right, I'll probably play a little bit more of that, but I'm gonna drop off of here for you guys. I appreciate you guys coming by. I will see some of you guys later next week. Take care.